Hey guys, and I just felt like doing a little more. I guess you can call this philosophical. I mean, it's probably not going to be terribly coherent, but I just kind of want to talk about why I'm not a materialist when it comes to my worldview. Now, if you're like a materialism cell, like you're like an eliminative materialist, or you only believe like empiricism, like, oh, here's my empirical peer reviewed study by Bagelberg. It's like, okay. And keep doing that. I'm not here to like disprove it. Like, oh, this is like fake. Uh, I'm just giving you my personal reasons for it. Uh, I guess this would be a decent way to like give a very basic layout of my worldview where I believe the physical material world we experience is real, but is governed by an underlying reality that permeates our existence. Like, there's things beyond uh, this material world that we can sense that do govern things, I believe. Whether that's like laws of physics, life itself, consciousness. I do believe in consciousness. Uh, I'll touch on the consciousness uh, reason for this, and that'll probably just be like the main point is on the consciousness question. Now, if you're like a materialist, like you can either like be agnostic about the consciousness question, or you could take the stance that it's illusory, it doesn't exist, like blah blah blah. You're just making this up, bro. Like you're coping. You're coping. You lie to yourself, now you believe it. Uh, you self deceived yourself into having a consciousness, bro. It's like you want to take that stance. Then again, I don't really think a lack of proof of something doesn't necessarily mean it exists, especially if it's something you can't really test. But I would agree, probably like bare minimum, probably half of humans, and more likely it's much higher than that. I would agree, probably don't have a consciousness, or like people with that internal monologue would be a more uh, I'm not even sure if we can call that physical, but they're like biological entities. They're not spiritual entities. And that's what I define consciousness as is your consciousness is really you, because if you don't have a consciousness, then you don't even exist. Uh, so like consciousness is like what's actually you, like that's what you think inside your mind, like when you talk to yourself, or when you think about things, or when you imagine things. Because normies, if you want to use other terms, you can say like uh, Hilux, be another like that's like a European term for people without a soul, or you use a more bagel term like goyim or goy, whatever. You can use that term as well for these uh, biological beings. But I obviously like there's a mental realm that we all experience and exist in just as much as the physical world. And the physical world is determined by these immaterial coalescence. I'm sorry, I butchered that word. But these ideas you have in your mind, influence and determine the world we exist in. And ideas literally govern the world. Oh, Celtic Cat's an idealist. That's cringe. Like, where's your peer reviewed study, Chud? And it's like, okay, whatever. But it's like, say, like communism, for example. Let's just use that. Uh, Communism only existed in the world once Karl Marx conjured it up within his mind. Uh, it's not like some empirical fact that communism's a thing. Communism had to be created in the immaterial world before it could become into the material world. And you can be like, well, there was like heckin' like electricity or some shit in his brain, and that's how he came up with it. It's like, okay, or things like dreams. I believe dreams. And also, too, if you talk to normies, I've never once heard like a normie type person or even like a Foyd say they had a dream before. Do do they have dreams? Maybe some of them do, but I don't know. I feel like Foyds when they say they have like a dream though of like their I don't know, like their BF cheating on them or whatever. I feel like they just make that up. I don't even think like it's sincere. Like if you're not like some sort of like higher order being, I just don't think you have dreams because you just don't have a soul that can leave this dimension, realm, whatever you want to call it, into another to receive messages from other beings, blah blah blah. Or also too, you just having like desires or passions that aren't biologically necessary as well. Like obviously you could reduce it down to like your own flesh for things like, you know, food, water, shelter, like things you need to survive, or then other things like sex, for example, would just be another thing you can say is like a desire of your body. But desires for things like uh, accomplishing some great achievement or the seeking of like building a heaven on earth. I just don't really see the biological impetus for that. In which morality, you could make the case that like, well, morality exists because like monkeys had like mutant babies or some shit. And now we're here, and we gotta be friends. And it's like, okay. But even though I've addressed like the evolution question before, I mean, I doubt it. I don't really think it's true, but that's not the whole point of this video. But even then, I think I've gone off the rails here. Uh, but yeah, guys, I don't believe in materialism. I'm not a strict empiricist. I don't make the assumption that eh, we gonna say assumption. You can say the things I'm saying are assumptions as well, obviously. But I just wouldn't make the assumption that things like consciousness or immaterial reality that influences ours doesn't exist because you can't find it within this reality or any evidence or proof thereof. So, guys, don't act like a globetard in the comments, please. If you disagree with me, that's fine. You can tell me why you disagree or whatever. Or if you agree with me, you can give me your take, and maybe you can make a better case than I did for why you don't, why you're not a strict materialist. But yeah, guys, I think that's really about it. I think this turned more like the consciousness question, but You guys take it easy.